Hello beauties, welcome back to the vlog. This week we are talking about the importance of being a dreamer and taking the time to have a big dream. I want to share a quote with you that I just love, and it's something that I read when I'm having a down day and sometimes when I'm having an up day because it really speaks to me. The quote is, "You had a purpose before anyone had an opinion." You had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. And I share this quote with you today because I know there are some of you out there who think that maybe you don't have a right to have a dream, that you don't deserve to have a dream, that you have no business in thinking about a big picture where there's something more for you. And I want to tell you that you have every right to be happy and to do the thing that speaks to you and gets you out of bed every day and gets you excited about what's next. You have every right. And I get that because I have those moments too where I hear the voices of the world around me and I can let it influence my own thinking. And sometimes I forget what I think in all of it. And I have to take a moment and say, what do I actually think about this? Or am I just repeating what everyone else has told me to think? And dreams are that way too. You know, I'm going to tell you a story because it's Wednesday. I've had the opportunity to work with students through the University of Oregon and Oregon State over the last few years. And every term I've done reviews with students on business plans or on portfolios or on big projects they've done, their senior project thesis, that sort of thing. And every term there's a student who has done what their parents have told them to do, has followed someone else's dream for their life. And every time I see that kid and their face is the same, they're just broken. They've got this heartbroken look to them. They're miserable. They haven't done what makes them happy. And one of them wanted to do construction, and their family didn't think that was prestigious enough. But there's honor in that work. As one of my colleagues said, there's honor in building something with your hands and making something every day, right? There's people who've wanted to be in restaurants. There's people who've wanted to be artists. I think that if you have something that's your calling, like we talked about yesterday, that it's worth pursuing because your happiness is worth far more than meeting other people's expectations. So a couple of reasons that I want to give you besides my own about why I want you to consider your own value here and why your dream matters and you have a right to dream. One is that if you limit yourself, you'll never know what your potential truly was, right? You may have a guess of what you're capable of, but until you have a dream that you think about and you plan out and you go, or maybe you just jump in and just try it, you're never going to know what your potential really is. And I personally would rather know, right? I can find out, whoop, no potential there. Definitely don't belong in that field. Shouldn't have tried that. And that's fine, right? You don't want me to play a variety of instruments. It's no bueno. And that's okay. But at least I've tried it and I know that about myself. And I'm not going to go back and say, wow, I wish I had really tried to learn those instruments. Sometimes people who think that they don't deserve to have a dream are also top performers. And I think this is really interesting because we'll see really talented, really successful people not believe in their own value. Like there's this disconnect between how awesome they are and all the cool stuff they do and then how they view themselves. They don't see themselves how everyone else sees them. And the people who are top performers need to do something that's really compelling, right? But it also should stretch you, right? If you're a top performer and you're thinking, well, I don't know that I need to have a dream. As this goes hand in hand with the talk we had last week about perfectionism, doesn't it? Right? As you think maybe I'll never get there. But think about what would stretch you. What would really push you? What would be so hard for you as a top performer, perhaps, that it's almost impossible? And what happens if you reach for that dream and then got it? Isn't there some magic to that? I think there is. Some people think that dreaming is not relevant. It's not practical. They say, well, why would you do that? One of the nice things that I think about with dreaming is that I disagree. It is relevant. One of the things that I think is really important about dreaming is that it helps you solve other problems. So if I'm dreaming about, I don't know, doing something for a kid's playroom, let's say, right? For a while I was working on that this year. And my mind is working on that and solving something creatively for a playroom. That's a small dream, right? That's not a big dream like we're talking about. But I'm planning that out. It might help my mind rest enough so that when I have to come back to a more difficult problem in my work life or some organization, that I'm refreshed and able to solve it. Having a dream allows your mind to rest on and solve more problems more easily. There's also something about momentum here, right? So you have one small dream, and then you can have another small dream, and then pretty soon you're thinking about lots of different things and how they all connect together. And you can build momentum with dreams, which I think is really important. And then the last thing that I would say in terms of, for folks who are thinking, well, I don't know if I should or could or want or deserve to have a dream, is that when you spend time being creative, you will work harder in other areas of your life, and you will take more action in other areas of your life. You don't have to be a creative person to have a dream, and you don't have to be someone who has a big dream of changing the world, right? But allowing your mind to creatively solve problems and do something gives it the space it needs to be more effective in all the areas of your life. I'll see you tomorrow.